What's up? What's up? Your boy back. About to drop another video. Hey y'all, got a couple views on the last couple videos. I really appreciate it. I gotta show the love back. You know, it wasn't 1,000 nothing like that, but it was 17. I fuck with that. Y'all don't know. Hey, keep watching. You gotta start somewhere, goddamn. Uh, but today I wanted to talk about peace and why I necessarily just don't agree with it to a certain extent. Like I get into it. I just start on why I feel like we were just taught peace and why just a big, huge emphasis on it now versus any other time in history. And when you think about just blacks versus whites and what's been going on in the world the past couple decades and centuries is pretty much white people is taking over, destroy people land, genocide, many different places. Shit, kill nature. They kill everything. They go through and just completely destroy everything that has anything to do with the natives of the land that they want. You create some type of propaganda, some type of war. Well, propaganda came out later these days, but back in the day, it was crusades and shit, and that's what that propaganda was. They was using, religion and shit back then. But we know those stories. They told us that in school. We just don't really internalize them. But the main reason they taught us peace is because clearly they never moved in a peaceful manner. Like they always took, and people just had to deal with it. People just had to deal with them for as long as they could. Either they coexisted with them or most likely didn't. There's a few groups that was able to coexist with the white people, even though the whites were still oppressing them. But not a few groups, but it was a lot of groups that did get destroyed. And pretty much they taught us peace because they didn't want us to fight back. They didn't want us to be breeding what should I say? Breeding little Spartans to, just be revolutionary. They didn't want us breeding little Black Panthers in a sense. Even this was way before Black Panther time, like the group. And pretty much they know, like, if you take people land, bro, and if you don't program the kids and program the women to like be fearful of you and just not just want like just be docile, they're gonna teach their children to get their land back. They gonna like most of the land that they took, they had to fight for it. So these people gonna fight back for their land. They just gonna be smart about it. They gonna wait till the time is right, which is in the what is that shit called? The law, the 48 laws of not power, but the laws of war or some shit. I forgot what it's called. Damn, what that shit called? Whatever. It was just like strike when the time is right. Don't just strike because on some stupid shit, out of emotion or something. But yeah, they just taught us that just to keep us docile, and it was a big part in religion. And in this day and age, when we go through Black History Month, they teach us Martin Luther King, and pretty much, I mean, they teach us Malcolm X on the factor they had to teach us a polar, like not a polar opposite, but another like they couldn't just teach us one black activist that was super positive and then there not be a alter kind of flip. And you got to think about even Malcolm X, he still had peace in his mind. It's just like if you came at us, we're gonna fight back type shit. And they even kind of pushed this message to the side, but they damn sure wasn't trying to put the Black Panther message out or put Gaddafi message out or fucking like it's just certain revolutionaries messages that they would not let get out. I hate when I forget people's names, but they are there. Like, but it'll come to me. But it's just they taught us Martin Luther King because he's all about peace. Like he was like even if we get struck, don't have a reaction. Like, and that goes against nature. everything that gets struck has a reaction, like a physical reaction. Like they literally wanted us to get hit in the face and just be whatever, we're good. And soon as Martin Luther King or MLK realized that shit, he started saying we integrated into a burning house. And he feel that it's really nothing we could do to like fix this problem because these people are just con artists. Like it's saying in the Bible, there will be many broken promises. And I guess motherfucking Martin Luther King got to that page. And he just, that shit dawned on him. Like, that's what we in. Like, they taught us peace though. They taught us him because they don't want us to fight back when they shoot us in the streets. They don't want us to fight back when we feel like our brothers are getting locked up for bullshit. When they selling drugs when they sell drugs in the stores, killing millions of people a day. We sell weed and shit, and we go to jail for life. And these people don't even get indicted. Like I always talk about little shit that people done. That's like corporate, like Briars. I don't remember if I said this before, but they had some shit. They had like some Advil or whatever that made. That's funny because I used two different fucking two different companies to describe one. But they had some headache medicine and they had like HIV or AIDS in it. And instead of like discontinuing them and like get rid of them, they discontinued them in America but start selling them hoes in India, like because they still want to get their money out because they made like millions of them hoes. Like it was a big ass discontinuance or whatever. And but when shit like this happen, they don't want us to go to the elites and be like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why are y'all doing this to us? Like, why are y'all? They want us to just pray about it and hope things will get better. Like, they fucking over us, but they want us to have a peaceful reaction towards everything. And it's really crazy when you think about it, because what is peace gonna really ever get you if you really facing a bully? Think about a bully. If a bully took your house, and he ain't even want to stay in your house, he just took your house just to have that house, because that's what bullies do, just took your shit. He don't want it, he just took it, just to see you unhappy. And he tell you, if you want to stay here, you got to pay me to stay here, even though this your house that you built from your own, whatever, from your own ways. You built this house. But now you got to pay me to stay here. Okay, well, you can't beat him up. You can't go to the cops. You can't do nothing. You got to pay the dude because you want to stay in your house. It's your house. You like, fuck it. I ain't been through worse. On some Rick versus Negan shit till Rick realized Negan's a fucking asshole type shit. And until all of them realized he was an asshole. But to go back to it, if you make him mad, he be like, fuck you, nigga, get out. Like, if you don't pay rent, like, fuck you, nigga, get out. And you feel like, damn, man, like, can you work with me? Nah, he a bully, he don't give a fuck. He can work with you if he want to, but if he don't feel good that day, fuck you. Like, you a bully, he a bully, what are you gonna do? And that's America. That's governments all across the world. Like, they're bullies, bro. They tell us to go through politics and work through politics, and that's what they tell us. And then they like, we see the shit. Pass that shit. Like, in all reality, we should be legal everywhere. Like, the fact that it's not is beyond repost, bro. Like, it's nothing you can even tell me that makes sense to our government works. That weed is legal. There hasn't been not one fucking case proving that this shit is actually bad for us. That don't work for it. Like, bro, you can't. Like, I'm sorry. You can talk about how these scientists and shit has found shit. Bro, I don't give a fuck. Like, I believe God created this shit. You can find all type, nigga, you can die from drinking too much water. So I'm sure a fucking scientist can make up some type of article about that shit. It's called drowning, nigga. I'm just saying. Like, nigga, it's happened. People, if you breathe air in the wrong way, you can fucking have a heart attack. Or whatever that shit called. Nigga, if you're having sex with your girl and air go up her the wrong fucking way, she can have like a fucking like shit where it fucks her shit up and she can die from that shit. Like, nigga, you learned that in health class. Like, we can die from any fucking thing. Clearly. Anything can be somewhat, they could consider it toxic. Smokes is toxic. Or whatever you consider it. Whatever. But they don't understand half of this fucking world. Like, how we really operate. And the fact that they sell alcohol, prescription drugs that do way more impairing than weed. The fact that there is literally no deaths on weed from smoking it and smoking it alone. Like, there's no deaths. I don't get it. How can you tell me? Only reason it's illegal is because it's so easy to grow. They can't sustain it. Like, you can't, like with oranges or bananas, you can only grow them in a part of some certain parts. So you could, you could probably grow bananas in Houston, but they won't taste as good if you grow them as in some, like, it's native places, what I'm saying. So they can have these facilities and produce the best shit, and we're gonna go to them. But with weed, bro, that shit can grow in your backyard. Like, that shit can grow anywhere. Like, that shit's weeds. Like, it's just like any other weed in your yard. If you let this shit just grow, if the seeds just keep, like, bro, it's infinite. And the fact that we can make gas, we can make paper, we can make all these different things with it. When people really start using this shit, it's a lot of reasons why weed is illegal. It's an ultimate healer. And the fact that you got an ultimate healer growing in abundance in your backyard, and all you have to do is just break it down into an oil to just rub on your skin or to do any, like, many reasons, bro. But they teach us peace because they don't, like, bro, they don't want us to ever just have a reactionary effect to be like, you know what, fuck this shit. We always gotta try to work with them type shit, because that's what peace is, working with people. And not just getting what you demand, like what we demand, like, bro. So many different things. What else I wanted to talk about with peace? Cause I kind of got on a tangent with weed, but it's just to show you how the government, like, it just don't work. Voting don't work, bro. It don't even make sense. What's some other reasons they teach us peace? I feel my deepest reason why I don't like when people talk about peace is just the fact that I feel like God is in us, and a lot of times God don't want us necessarily to be peaceful. A lot of times when you got that voice in your head that tell you to speak up and you don't, that's God. Like, I would believe that's God telling us, like, your true self telling you what you really want to do or what you really thought about doing. And you might not have to do it or whatever, but I mean, I feel like that's your higher self talking. And a lot of times in a situation where you feel disrespected, that higher self is just ringing like, nigga, you gotta say something. It don't mean you gotta fight, but you gotta, like, stick up for yourself. You gotta do something. Sometimes you do gotta fight. And I mean, it is what it is, but they teach us peace because they know God is in us, and God wouldn't like to be mistreated like how we be mistreated. Like how I always say, people wake up every day and be like, man, fuck this job. I don't want to go to work. That's God telling you, fuck that job. You don't want to go to work. But you don't listen to your higher self because you're supposed to go to job. You're supposed to go to work. You're supposed to go to school. You're supposed to go do this. You're supposed to do this. This is what you're supposed to do. This is what reality, this is what, I mean, not reality, this is what society tells you have to do. This is how the world functions at this moment. So you got to do it. And I feel like it goes against us. And I ain't saying we should be all negative, or I'm not even gonna say negative because I don't think it's negative. I don't think we should be all one side of the snake. Because if you look at what is it, the Kundalini or anything with the snake on the pole, the money symbol, whatever, it rises. Well, not the money symbol because it's only one snake. Well, anything with two snakes on the pole, both snakes are both sides of the hemisphere of the brain. One, and they intersect to work together, to rise up the pole or the spine. Like in the medical fields, you see it a lot too. And pretty much one side would be considered negative, one side would be considered positive. But you need both of them to rise. And if you're only using one, which is being peaceful all the time, it won't work. Sometimes you need rage or not fear. What's another word for empowerment? Like, you need to be bold. You need to be blunt. You don't just, it's not always the need for, this is the revolution. One side's the revolutionary side, one side's the peaceful. They call this side the devil because it gets into, sticky situations, but sometimes you got to go through hard shit to really get what you want. And this one's more like the coper and shit like that, the one that makes you, teach you how to be comfortable with shit, teach you how to adjust with shit. And not saying either one is bad, but depending on certain situations, you need to go with the other one. sometimes you do got to stick out shit. Like sometimes you go through the hard shit. Now you need this one to tell you how to get through it. Like that's how